Well, at least he's out of the car. The car seems to be burning fairly well. A little ensign. Oh, there's a marshal. Seem to be very efficient. The fire tenders there already. Ickx, they're running to help Ickx. How lucky he is to be out of that car. Of course, we saw what happened when Niki Lauda got trapped in his car in the German Grand Prix. Ickx has been able to climb out of the car. I don't know if they're going to stop the race. The rest of the field filtering through slowly. And here it is in slow motion. Ickx, bit of his overall.
To imagine the dreadful internal atmosphere in which Lauda had to compete in the most important race of the season for his employer. Well, a scare in the warm-ups for Patrick Tambay, who came off the track violently and overturned. There was nothing left of his ensign. Clay Regazzoni.
Yeah, he seems to be all right. He certainly get with the upper part of his body. I'm sure something has failed on the car, because he's obviously hit the barrier very hard. That's the footwell you can see with the brake.
Crashed, and that's Jabouille. Yes, look at the helmet, and that looks like a very nasty one indeed. Pierre Jabouille, who only last week announced that next year he's going to drive for the Talbot team, is out of the race, and is he all right? That's the important thing.
Looks pretty nasty, man. The car is really buried into that tower. Looking at the towers, you can see the skid marks of the car. It's gone straight on. He's certainly waving his...
Mechanic's gone down behind his car, and Siegfried Starr has smashed into the back of Patrice's car, and he's hit the mechanic. You can see the mechanic lying on the ground. This is absolutely appalling. A disastrous start. And the poor unfortunate Siegfried Starr is beside himself with agitation, as well he might be. That mechanic looks to me as though he's badly hurt. This is a rerun. Look at Starr's car coming through.
Patrick Tambay, and look at that shattered car. The whole of the front of the car has been torn off, and Tambay has very obviously hurt his left leg or his left ankle, and is sensibly...
Non chronométré de ce matin, violente sortie de route pour Nigel Mansell. Un pneu a éclaté en passant sur un trottoir. La Williams a fauché un petit poteau sur lequel était fixée une cellule photoélectrique. Choc violent, Mansell est groggy, il est retiré de sa voiture par les commissaires et les secouristes. Mansell souffre d'une commotion cérébrale. Bien sûr, il n'a pas participé aux essais de cet après-midi et ne va pas se présenter demain au départ du Grand Prix. Malheur et bonheur chez Williams.
Oh, De Cesaris sideways. De Cesaris on the grass. He's going over. Oh, De Cesaris, a major accident. And I think he's all right. He's getting up
the hill. The Tyrrell of Streiff had crashed, and teammate Palmer had hit the wreckage. Both were unhurt. The third car was that of Alio, who had stopped to help. But the race had to be halted so the wreckage could be cleared. Streiff.
Alboreto はザクスピードのダナーと接触。マシンを大破してしまった。
Lucky escape. At very high speed in the number 2 McLaren, he had unwittingly used his car to go hunting, which left him happy to be alive.
Well, in the practice yesterday, on the very last lap of the morning practice, a deer ran out in the road, and I came over a brow and I didn't even see the deer until it was like 3 meters away from me, and I just hit it head on.
And after that, I mean, that damaged the car.
When in the curves behind the pits, he lost his Williams Honda. The tremendous impact did the damage. Mansell was in agony in the cockpit. He released the wheel but couldn't get out. As Frank Williams waited anxiously for news in the pits, the marshals attended to Mansell, who was grimacing with pain. And in this thoroughly unsatisfactory and melancholy way, Nelson Piquet became champion. What happened was that Mansell had clipped a curb on the previous curve.
Get underway. It was Ayrton Senna who made the best start down into that first corner.
No Riccardo Patrese then. Senna leading from Prost, Nannini and Nigel Mansell. But then there was drama. Mauricio Gugelmin locked up, launched himself off Thierry Boutsen's rear tyre and slid upside down off the track. There was chaos, drama and a number of other phenomenal avoidances, including Jonathan Palmer and René Arnoux. Both of them out of the race apparently, and Emanuele Pirro also stationary. Nigel Mansell with a damaged rear wing and stationary on the circuit. There was Mauricio Gugelmin hauled out of his car, but fortunately, apparently unhurt. A remarkable accident.
Very tardy off the grid.
Elise's drive, as I said, is almost unbelievable. Oh my God! That is a Lola. That's all I can tell. No, it's Derek Warwick. It's Derek Warwick who's crashed at the Parabolica, and as you can see, my goodness, he's okay. That is an incredible testimony to the strength and safety of the construction of the cars these days, and there is absolutely no doubt in my mind that the race will have to be stopped because the car is on the exit of the Parabolica.
The practice session was just a few minutes old when the session had to be stopped. Eric Comas had crashed out of the Ostkurve chicane, and although he was able to crawl from the wreckage of his crashed Ligier Lamborghini, there was a fair amount of debris on the circuit, and it was clear that the track had to be cleared. Comas himself appeared unhurt as he took off his helmet, although the marshals crowded around him to help him.
I don't know what happened exactly. I was flat on 6 just before the second chicane here on OK9, and just before about 50 meters before I brake, the wheel moves a lot and the car goes just a little on the left, and then I spun and I crashed. But I don't know exactly why.
He ran into the back of Luca Badard's car, tore off the whole right hand of the car, and was just a passenger in his monocoque as it rolled into the gravel traps. The whole world held its breath. Immediately on the scene were Ferrari drivers Gerhard Berger and Jean Alesi, stopping, as was his teammate Aguri Suzuki. And the good news was that Derek Warwick escaped injury in what is certainly the worst accident in Formula One this year.
Lamy has a massive testing accident at Silverstone, dislocating both legs and breaking his wrist. He's likely to be out for the rest of the year and will be replaced at Lotus by Italian Alessandro Zanardi.
Bij Blanchimont en zij toen had het idee dat zijn gas vollopen bleef staan.
Nou, dat is dus nu gebeurd.
Kwam de pits in.
Dat is dus nu gebeurd. Een zware crash, zichtbaar.
Ja.
Als dat het probleem geweest is en het is nogmaals gebeurd, dan moeten we ervan uitgaan dat het nu ook weer gebeurt.
Zu viel Staub für unseren Geschmack. Wenn der Staub sich lichtet,
wissen wir mehr. Tarso Marquez. Oh, Aufhängung gebrochen. Uiuiui, das... Vorne rechts die Aufhängung gebrochen. Ich hoffe, dass da abgegleitet ist an der Leitplanke und nicht hart eingeschlagen hat.
Da hat es den Minardi richtig weggerissen von der Straße, als da die Aufhängung kollabiert ist.
Und das Verrückte ist, heute Morgen ist ihm die Hinterradaufhängung gebrochen.
Die Piloten vom Gas gegangen. Hier wird geborgen und Schumacher knallt mit dem Auto volles Programm in die Begrenzung. Michael Schumacher ist bei Rennabbruch von der Strecke gesegelt. Hier.
Und wie?
Ein heftiger Unfall von Michael Schumacher. Frontal in die Reifen. Oh Mann, oh Mann. Da war der Winkel ganz ungünstig, ungebremst. Wir zeigen es Ihnen gleich. Ich habe es auf dem Cockpit-Signal genau gesehen. Da macht man natürlich zunächst das Ersatzauto fertig, aber das sehe ich noch nicht.
Also im Prinzip dürfte er es nehmen, aber der Aufprall war sehr hart. Also da habe ich Bedenken, dass er sich da wehgetan hat.
Marc, er war ja zurückgefallen hier und dann mit Eddie Irvine, da kommt die Szene. Schau mal hier.
Er verbremst sich schlicht und einfach. Oh, blöder kann man nicht abnehmen. Und jetzt ist die Frage, wie lange kann der Salo den Mika Häkkinen aufhalten?
Der da herangeflogen kommt. Im Hintergrund, hinter Frenzen, das ist David Coulthard. Oh, Abflug von Häkkinen! Heckflügel ist weg. Ah, böse!
Der Einschlag war nicht so schlimm, aber es war heftig.
Hier ist die Nase aber dran, Marc. Die Reifen haben da viel Schlimmeres verhindert und er ist okay.
Ja.
Er sagt, ich bin in Ordnung.
Die Reifen haben hier funktioniert. Schau mal, wie die nachgegeben haben und das Schlimmste verhindert haben.
200.000 Reifen säumen hier den Hockenheimring. Kompliment. Das hat funktioniert. Er kann aussteigen. Reifenplatzer hinten links, Marc. Erste Diagnose. Wir spielen es Ihnen.
Hier verschaut ein Reifendreher.
300 hat er da drauf auf der Bremse.
Genau, das ist kurz vom Bremspunkt gewesen. Also mit rund 300 zerreißt ihn den Reifen und
voller Dreher.
Zum Glück, das Drehen hat natürlich das Auto abgebremst. Das Kiesbett macht da viel die bessere Arbeit als bei Michael Schumacher.
Oh, jetzt nimmt er schon die Hände weg. Da weiß er, er kann nichts mehr retten.
Er wartet auf den Aufprall.
Ja, das Ganze sah noch viel spektakulärer aus, als es war zunächst.
Ja, aber ich meine, ein Riesenglück. Den Heckflügel.
Ich kenne sogar den Rückspiegel und dann dieser Unfall im Hintergrund sehen Sie schon.
Da sehen Sie Räder fliegen, Rauch. Ein Hochgeschwindigkeitsunfall.
Und es ist Jean Alesi, der hier unverletzt aussteigt, später vom schwersten Unfall seiner Karriere spricht.
Und da vorne steigt Diniz aus. Ihm ist er aufgefahren.
Ja.
Wie es dazu kam, sieht man nicht richtig, nur das Ende davon. Wie gesagt, praktisch beim Beginn des Bremspunktes, also noch mit 300 unter.
Queste sono le sole immagini disponibili dell'incidente, riprese con le telecamere fisse dell'autodromo di Monza. La qualità non è perfetta, ma guardate adesso la macchina di Fisichella che arriva, va in testa a coda e finisce fuori pista. Ecco qui l'altra immagine ripresa dalla seconda telecamera. Non si vede il momento dell'impatto contro il guardrail.
Es ist aber gar nichts gegen den Abflug von Räikkönen und Alesi. Beim Sauber war die Aufhängung gebrochen. Glücklicherweise bleiben beide völlig unverletzt. Was für ein Crash. Die Wiederholung wird zeigen, dass beide unheimlich viel Glück hatten, heil aus diesem Unfall herauszukommen. Auch die nachfolgenden Fahrer hatten großes Glück, nicht von Wrackteilen aus dem Unfall getroffen zu werden. Alesi kümmert sich um Räikkönen, als der Vorhang für seine eigene Formel-1-Karriere mit 13 Jahren und nach 200 Formel-1
has dropped to third behind Ralph. Heidfeld battles for fifth, but the German is too eager on the brakes and the repercussions are horrific. That sends shockwaves down the pit lane.
I saw that it was right in front of me. Huge chance. Your right tax. Your right tax.
Sato's non-reaction prolongs the agony, while Heidfeld is safely evacuated. The replay illustrates what a lucky escape Montoya had. Heidfeld escaped with bruising, but Sato is being taken to hospital. Fortunately, he looks to have escaped serious injury. But his replacement as third driver, Ryan Briscoe, had a nasty accident on Friday. A puncture caused him to spin at Eau Rouge. He was okay, but went to hospital for precautionary checks on his arm.
Each other.
They were 2 laps down, but this was the battle for 14th. Until Purley made an ill-fated move on Chandok. Fortunately, they were both okay, and with just a handful of laps to go, the safety car...
Past Kovalainen as soon as you can, Mark, before the others start pitting.
I've lost the rear end of the car, I think, so game over.
Both drivers okay, which is great to see.
Either of them could have been very seriously injured in that.
Nyt lähtee Verstappen yrittämään tuolta ohitusta ja sitten se päättyy karulla tavalla seinään. Näin siinä sitten Monacossa helposti käy ja siellä spinnaa myöskin Romain Grosjean, mutta Max Verstappen on seinässä. Uudestaan tuo Max Verstappenin rajun näköinen ulosajo tuon ohitusyrityksen jälkeen. Vielä kerran. Edellisellä kierroksella Verstappen lähti.
Need to be answered. They looks like you've got him on the stretcher and they're gonna. Here we go. See replay now. So
well,
it's gone to the inside.
As this is the first time we've seen this. So they obviously they hold this back.
It's under braking. He's lost it.
To fifth. And there's someone gone into the tyre barrier on the exit of Raidillon, and it is the Renault of Kevin Magnussen that has gone straight into the tyre barrier at the top of Eau Rouge de Raidillon, and that's a safety car deployment. That's a really, really big impact. Let's just have a look as he reaches the top. Whoa! And how is it, Martin, there that and he's gone in rearwards and spun round, but look at the bodywork that flies off.
Yeah, the head restraint's gone. Wasn't there to do its job, was it? It's held in by some two prongs and pins that the drivers take out.
Into the wall, and he almost collects the Red Bull, who does actually hit the front wing. That is a major incident for Kimi Räikkönen. He is out. That's a big crash as well, and that's the Sauber of Marcus Ericsson. Red flagged the session. Session suspended. And Paul, there was absolutely nothing he could do. The car just went on under braking, just stepped out from underneath him.
When you have spectacular ones like that, the energy's dissipated over a long distance with all the bits and pieces flying off as well. It's not the sudden stop. They're the ones that really hurt. So whilst it looks spectacular, as long as nothing comes into the cockpit to get you.
The mechanics are looking at the DRS.
Sometimes to be that much slower, maybe by a couple of tenths. Hamilton comes out onto the racetrack now. And is he going to be ahead of Lando Norris? That's the big key. No, he's not. And there's Max Verstappen right behind Hamilton into the first chicane. Once again, it's wheel to wheel. Hamilton and Verstappen. And this time Verstappen and Hamilton have crashed out. And they are both out. As Hamilton came from his pit stop, rejoined the racetrack. Lando Norris was ahead. And in their desperation to stay ahead and to get ahead, the two championship protagonists have taken each other.